Colorado Avalanche Hockey on Altitude is brought to you by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. CenturyLink, a trusted technology partner, frees you to focus on what matters. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Shortline Subaru, save money, drive better. And by Connect for Health Colorado, your site for exclusive savings on health insurance. Avalanche back on the ice, the first game since Saturday night when they're able to beat the Montreal Canadiens here on home ice. And tonight they welcome the Nashville Predators to town. Let's take a look at tonight's Ford starting lineup. Peter will begin with the starting goaltenders.
Well, Carter Hutton in the goal for Nashville Predators. We'll get into Pekka Rinne and his situation as the game goes along. But at the other end, Semyon Varlamov, part of the tandem, Varlamov and Giguère, that have been so good for the Avalanche this season. They won their first 6, the Avalanche did. They lost to Detroit here at home, and now they've run off 6 more games. How about this one, Mike? With a win tonight, the Colorado Avalanche will tie for the best record after 14 games in the history of the National Hockey League. In the history, not the Avalanche history. And I mean, I've seen Pittsburgh Penguin clubs, the Edmonton Oilers clubs, the Montreal Canadiens clubs. This will be tie the best record.
History-making possibility here tonight. HD coverage tonight presented by Nova Home Loans, bringing it home to you in high definition. And here we go, the Avalanche and the Nashville Predators playing for the second time this season. They met in the second game of the year, and the Avalanche won that game 3-1. All right, let's look at the rest of the starting lineup for the Avalanche. And Peter, these are the line combinations, and because of the injury that took place in the game against Montreal on Saturday to Alex Tanguay, there's been some adjustments. Yeah. And the return of Jamie McGinn.
I gotta say, McKinn rejoins the Avalanche, and now Nathan McKinnon, Mike, he's going to be up on the right side. Now that's where he scored his goal the other night, playing on the right side with Stastny and Landeskog. But tonight it'll be a full game for him, at least it looks like it, for the Colorado Avalanche.
Backhanded the hand and then redirected into the Avalanche zone by Nick Spaulding. On the far wall, pushed up the boards. Outlet pass comes to center ice for defenseman Andre Benoit. 6 assists this season for Benoit. What a find he's been since being signed after last year playing with the Ottawa Senators. Good pickup this summer by the Avalanche. Shot gets tipped up into the screen and out of play. We mentioned the Alex Tanguay injury, Peter. Let's show you how it happened on Saturday.
It was a very sort of harmless hockey play, but he ran into the wrong guy. As you well know, Gabe Landeskog. I mean, it was just they crossed legs. Fortunately, it doesn't seem to be maybe more than a couple of weeks for Tanguay, who has played so well for the Avalanche.
Eric Johnson with the puck, carrying out to center, comes cross ice for Landeskog. He'll scoop it into the Predator zone. Turned down the boards by Stastny behind the net. That one scooped away from McKinnon, pinching in from the point. Johnson kicked it in for the Avalanche. It was back towards the blue line. Landeskog held it in for the Avalanche. Back to the near corner of the Nashville zone. Spun behind the net by Kevin Klein, who leads the team in blocked shots. And the puck ends up being shot down into the Avalanche zone. Whipped around the boards by Wilson for Jan Hayden. On Saturday, on their way to a 4-1 victory over the Habs. Shot gloved by Varlamov, his first test of the game, and he makes the glove save. So he's into it after making that save.
Well, for Ryan O'Reilly, of course, had to make the adjustment at the start of the season from center to left wing. But Mike, he has just continued to blossom. He and Duchene have really established a good rapport. If O'Reilly gets into the middle of the ice, Duchene will sort of pull over towards the boards, so they're not on top of each other all the time.
Yeah, so we're seeing tonight for the Avalanche a couple of guys who used to playing center out on the wing. in O'Reilly and McKinnon. Benoit with the puck. Pass up the ice, and McGinn, just the last 3 games with a knee injury of his own, sends the puck around the boards of the Nashville zone. And it's shot back the other way into the Colorado end. Back into the corner, McGinn with the puck. A place for Mitchell, slips the check. Moves into the Nashville zone, coming down the wall. His pass into the high slot, went off a skate. Flip back up, the slot held in by the Avs defenseman Jan Hayter. Pass up the boards, and is hooked out to center ice, and Hayter right on it. The last couple of press conferences, listen to Patrick Roy, Peter. Jan Hayter gets so much praise from Patrick Roy what he has done this year.
Oh, he has been the Avalanche's most consistent, best defenseman. I mean, he's eaten up minutes. He's playing night after night, he and Johnson, against the other team's top line. But Mike, here's an example right here of the aggressive nature of the Colorado Avalanche defenseman. Guerin's coming up. Now, he'll be right on the right side, and see he goes right across. I mean, if he backs up right there, that play starts to establish itself, and Nashville gets the blue line. That is a much more aggressive way of playing defense this year for the Avalanche.
From behind the net, Roman Josi, young defenseman for Nashville. Picked it up for Philip Forsberg. Acquired a deal with the Washington Capitals last year. Forsberg, a very high draft choice for the Washington Capitals. Out of the corner. Shot trickles towards the front of the net. Still loose. Gaustad can't get to it. Bordeleau breaks away with the puck for the Avs. He's got McLeod bouncing off the boards. McLeod slipped a check. And Bordeleau after the puck centered into the slot for McLeod, but it's zipped past him back into the neutral zone.
Mike, it was that play right there by Bordeleau is what the Avalanche practiced all day yesterday. Bouncing the puck off the board by the defenseman to the man skating to the opening.
Steal centered by Patrick Hornquist. Boy, he's had some success against the Avalanche. 16 points in 17 games against Colorado in his career.
And I bet you every single one of his points has come right in front of the net. I mean, he is one of the toughest guys down low.
Pass, shot, comes wide of the net on that try by Eric Nystrom. Back to center ice. Chased down by Nystrom. Avalanche gets the puck back. It is Hayter. Sends it across the rink. Johnson will catch up to the puck at the red line and drills it in. The puck bounced over the stick of goaltender Carter Hutton. Pass to center ice. Smith had it broken up by Duchesne. Parenteau cutting in. He shoots, and Hutton makes the save.
Well, some really tough news for Pekka Rinne, the all-world goaltender for the Nashville Predators, who has been always so good against the Avalanche. He had hip surgery. And, Mike, it's an E. coli infection has gotten in 6 to 8 more weeks. A spontaneous bacterial infection in his hip. There's fear that they may have to go back in just to clear everything out. Hopefully that is just not going to happen.
Parenteau walks right in. It's shot. He got knocked down, and the shot by O'Reilly goes high after the collision with Parenteau and Hutton.
Well, Parenteau, and now this is his second good opportunity on this shift. Good hustle by the Avalanche, and Parenteau, who led the Avalanche in goals last year, had a goal last game was into the empty net, his 4th of the season, but again, just so smooth with that puck. I mean, has anybody had more patience with a puck than him?
Nobody.
I can't tell you the number of times.
And no panic.
Oh, and I'm panicking. There's panic, but it's mine.
It's up here. That is just a wonderful quality to have, isn't it?
I would think so.
You've heard about it?
I've heard.
Seth Jones, he's number 3 for Nashville. Dumping the puck in. He's certainly a guy that we will be watching. Talked about it before the start of the game, and that matchup, Nathan McKinnon, Seth Jones, forever linked because of being in both high draft choices this summer in the same draft. From behind the net, puck scooped up. Victor Stalberg couldn't get the puck out of the zone. Into the corner, rolled back up the wall by Ekholm. He's one of the 3 rookies in the lineup tonight for Nashville. Forsberg, we've mentioned, Jones, of course, and Ekholm. Big, strong guy, good player.
Oh, he is a beast of a guy out there, but having 2 rookies on the defensive core, one of them, Jones, eating up 25 minutes a game. Ekholm, like, he plays almost 20. So they have great trust in these two young guys.
And yet not quite as many minutes to Shea Weber. Sixth in the league with over 26 minutes a game. Shot by Forsberg off the side of the Avalanche net. Then a steal, and the puck picked up. Shot by Forsberg goes high. Back around the boards and out.
Well, the one thing you want to do, Mike, in a situation like that, where you know that Jones and Weber are going to play a lot, is you want to get on it. You want to dump the puck in behind them and make them skate all night long. May not pay off in the first period, but later in the game, that's when you get a little tired.
And this Nashville team, Peter, they're in the midst right now of a 7-game road trip. Franchise longest time away from Nashville, 17 days. How long this road trip has taken for Nashville.
Yeah, the reason for it, the Country Music Awards are in Nashville.
Landeskog winds and shoots, had that shot blocked. There down the wing by Hornqvist. Avalanche steal the puck back as McKinnon makes the handoff, then the outlet pass by Gennon. Comes to the Nashville blue line, poked ahead, bounces towards the corner, scooped up by McKinnon. His pass for Stastny redirected, and then bounced down the ice by Nashville. No icing. Wilson back to pick up. No score, first period of play. We played 7 minutes of hockey. Second meeting of the year between these two teams. They'll play 2 more times, both games in Nashville on January 18th and then later on March 25th. A chance right in front of the net by Bourque. Goes high. Carried to center ice by Stastny. His pass off the skate of the defenseman Benoit. Batted back by the Avalanche. Parenteau fighting for the puck, but Weber took it away for Nashville. Around for Jones. Parenteau really hustling. Got to that puck. Pass in front for O'Reilly. Just a little ahead of the stick. Back into the corner behind the net. The side, and Hutton, the goaltender, covers the puck in the crease to get a face-off. We'll take a timeout. Back in a moment in Denver. No score.
We're back at the Pepsi Center. Once again, first period scoreless between Nashville and Colorado. As Mike mentioned, this Nashville team is on a 17-day, 7-game road trip. And as you can see, important for Colorado. Patrick Roy said this morning it's important for Colorado to jump out on top. As you can see, Colorado ranks pretty high in the first period goal differential. Colorado is 10-0 when they score first, hoping to jump up right on these Nashville Predators. Guys.
Mike, it's been a tremendous key to the Avalanche success, their first period play. 13 goals they have scored. They've only allowed 4 against. They haven't allowed a first period goal against on the road all season.
Really noted how well as O'Reilly's shot steered to the corner. They haven't done when they've scored first. Well, and most teams do well, and so does Nashville. They're 6-0-2 when they score their first goal of the game. Scored the first goal of the game. Well, right now we don't have any goals scored. Avs with 5 shots, Predators with 3.
Well, for Barry Trotz, who has been the one and only coach of these Nashville Predators throughout their entire existence in Nashville, Mike, they were 1-3-1 to start the season. They sputtered a little bit. They lost a game in here to Colorado, 3-1, empty net goal by Parenteau. But 6-2-2 since then.
They've had the last 4 games, though, Peter, without Pekka Rinne. What will that turn into long term? And you and I were talking before the game, the backup goaltender, Marek Pazanek. He hasn't played in the NHL this season, but very good in the Czech Republic and 5-0 in the AHL. How much will he have to play during the absence of Pekka Rinne?
Well, Hutton has played well, but this young man, Mike, he's an interesting guy. He is a prototypical Nashville goaltender. Mike, he's 6'4". He's huge. I watched him in warm-up. He just eats up the entire net. That has been the MO of Nashville Predators goaltenders. Big, rangy, move the puck.
Mitchell set to take the face-off. Nashville club as a team, they are 3rd best in the NHL winning face-offs, but Mitchell won that one. And he did it against Gaustad. He's tremendous on the face-offs. Number 1 in the league, over 61%. And Mitchell just won that draw.
Yeah, Gaustad was picked up a couple years ago. Cost him a first-round pick to the Buffalo Sabres. You know, for his defensive play, and also just for that whole thing, the idea that he was the best face-off man in the league.
Nashville with a puck. Shot by Stolberg. Clanged off the far post. Back to center. The puck will roll into the Nashville zone. Handled by Ryan Ellis. Another one of the fine defensemen that Nashville has. Stolberg shot slowed up by Gennon and easily steered aside. Back towards the point. Where it is held in by Ekholm. To the corner for Spaulding. The support from Stolberg. Works his way out of the corner. Turns and shoots. Blocked in front of the net by Max Talbot, but held in by Ellis, and the Nashville defenseman shoots the puck wide of that. Centered out in front. Spaulding tied up. Able to tap the puck free for Spaulding in front. Shot! Oh, that one hit the near post. So 2 posts on this shift hit by Nashville. Both posts got dinged on this shift.
Well, when you're living right, you're living right. That was a beautiful play by Spaulding right there as he just came in, was all by himself. That's where the Avalanche will be upset. Not with the fact that, he had a good scoring test. He was wide open in front.
Barnlow's pass for Hayda. Still no score. We're exactly halfway through our first period. Pass off the board, back to center ice. Nashville right on it. Nashville's coming off a 4-3 win. Their game against Los Angeles. In Los Angeles, in a game in which they didn't have very many shots because they only had 17 shots and scored 4 goals.
They were outshot 38-17. Hutton played just a terrific game.
Good play by Hayda. As Forsberg is going to tip that puck past him and then try to skate around him. But Hayda did not allow that to happen. Landeskog moving in, wrist shot wide of the net. He gets right on it, and then it bounces, comes right back in front of the net. To the point, Benoit shot. He broke his stick on that chance, and the puck went wide. And it curls out to center ice. Landeskog on it for Colorado. Makes the pass across the defenseman Corey Sarch. McKinnon banged it off the boards in front of his bench. Taken back by Matt Cullen. He gets hit by McKinnon. Avalanche get a hold of the puck. Got in from center and Hutton out of the net to play the puck. Quick snap pass. And the Preds on the move through center ice. Put in by Weber with that big shot. Had it blocked by Hayda. But it's followed up. Shot behind the net by Craig Smith. Jones had pinched in from the point, but he overskated the puck. Landeskog taken down to the ice, and Johnson will take it for the Avalanche. Long pass and a good one for Stastny. He's in. He shoots. Saved by Hutton. Bouncing puck. They come to the near board. Slammed up and out of the zone. Pass across. Parenteau sends a backhander towards the net that Hutton covers to get a face-off. Well, 2 posts hit on 1 shift. First Stolberg went to the far side, and then Spaulding missed it on the short side. It's scoreless in the first period. Luxury has an address. Cody Lexus invites you to see the full line of Lexus all-weather drive sedans and luxury utility vehicles for 2014. Available at Cooney Lexus of Greenwood Village, now open at Bellevue and I-25, and at Cooney Lexus in Colorado Springs.
Big Erik Johnson, Mike, +3 last game, +7 for the season. He is starting to re-emerge inside the Olympic program talk about making the U.S. Olympic team. He's playing so well this year. You know that Seth Jones is going to be looked at by the Olympic program, even though he's just 19 years old. But Erik Johnson playing some of the best hockey in his 4 years with the Avalanche.
Shea Weber has the puck towards Jones. Snaps the pass ahead for David Legwand. Behind him, Weber with a shot that caught Parenteau in the leg. Parenteau makes the pass around the end board. Legwand on it. Pass across. Back to the point, Weber. Put in the corner, Parenteau. Pass over towards O'Reilly. A bite. Johnson to Mitchell. Checked away. Avalanche up to chase the puck back into their own zone. It's O'Reilly on it. Sends a pass through the middle for Mitchell. He angles it across the ice deep into the Nashville zone. Predators on the move. Carried in by Stolberg. His shot got tipped wide of the net. Last time out, this line hit the post a couple of times on their last shift. Best scoring chances of the game so far for Nashville. Stallberg sent it off the side of the net. Pass in the slot. Shot knocked down in front. And scooped up, centered. Score! A goal by Victor Stallberg. And for Stallberg, that is his first point of the season. And Nashville gets the first goal of the game. And Peter, this line has had a couple of pretty good shifts the last 2 times out.
And Stallberg, I mean, this has got to feel good for him. He came over to Nashville from the Chicago Blackhawks, where he had won a Stanley Cup, but he did not score last year in 19 playoff games. This is his first goal in 33 games. And you watch this guy skate. He is big, and he's got a powerful stride. And if he can get going, what an addition it would be for these Nashville Predators. But that's a couple times now that a Nashville player standing alone in front of the Avalanche net.
Nashville goal scored by Victor Stallberg.
Here's the Pepsi scoring summary. The goal by Nashville comes at 13-12. Stallberg's first of the season. Wilson and Ekholm getting the assists. And it's 1-0 in favor of Nashville. That all-important first goal of the game goes to the Predators. Benoit backhands the puck to center ice. Pass comes to Ellis, and he floats that puck into the corner. Softly rolled behind the net for Sarch. Backhand around, and then chipped out to center by McLeod.
The last 5-6 minutes, Nashville has had the puck more and has been some good scoring opportunities in the Avalanche zone.
Now out shooting the Avalanche 7-6. Slapped around, but held at the point by Josi. Sends it behind the net. Hornqvist centers right up the middle. Nobody there for either team. And the puck is all the way down the ice towards the Nashville goaltender. And it is flung up ice for Hornqvist into the Avalanche zone. Backhanded around, off the glass. It hit the netting and has gone out of play. So Nashville gets the first goal here in the first period. Stallberg makes it 1-0 Predators. Time for Did You Know? Brought to you by Stevenson Automotive. Here's your question tonight. The Avalanche currently on their second 6-game winning streak of the season. What is the longest in Avalanche history? Is it C19, text C2 12, or text C3 13? Go to 53548 to text your answer to win some Avalanche tickets. Here's how it looks currently.
Yeah, the Avalanche would tie Anaheim with a win tonight for his longest streak, but you look 2 6-game streaks for the Avalanche.
Peter, what's going on with the Ducks? We saw them in the first game of the season against the Avalanche. Have won that one 6-1 convincingly. They've been virtually unstoppable since.
And it's not because of their specialty teams. They have one of the worst power plays. They have 4 power play goals and 60 opportunities, and their penalty killing is not good.
And they're also missing Timo Solano right now, too.
But they come at you with a lot of big, fast parts.
And they've got some interesting goaltending going on right now. They got a rookie who's 4-0 to start his NHL career. So it's an interesting time right now for the Ducks. Jones walking in. His pass across, picked off. Duchesne on a 2-on-1 with Parenteau trailed by O'Reilly. Duchesne, shot, score! P.A. Parenteau! And that ties the game at 1. Duchesne with a great assist. But Peter, that began back in the defensive zone, and a great play by Duchesne.
A little bit of a gamble by Jones on this play to come into the zone, but the sticks in the lane. But here is a magnificent flush. When the man slides like that, it takes away so much of that. But it is a gamble because you cannot get your stick back and put it in the passing lane. And Parenteau, like he had a goal last game. You know, he had a couple of shots here early in the game, and he has been moving. So he gets the goal. But what a nice play by Duchesne.
We've seen now this pairing up again. We saw it last year with Parenteau and Duchesne, and there's some chemistry there, and we're seeing it now after that trade of Steve Downing. Parenteau started in the game before that trade, but really during the game, but really picked up after the trade. These two guys work together just terrific.
A couple of things to watch here. Watch as Parento comes into the play, Mike. He stops at the post. So many guys will slide through. Here's the old partner. Here's the last one. The puck just stayed right on top of the net. Wilson seemed to just stop it from coming all the way over. So the Avalanche, not saying they needed that, but you know, when Nashville had really started to take control of the game, that was that was what Seth Jones was talking about, that transition by the Colorado Avalanche. A turnover and bang, they were gone.
Nashville with the puck again in the end zone, shot through the crease. Out of the corner by Cullen. Cullen chases the puck down in the corner. Squashed there by Johnson. Pass to the point for Ellis. Shot deflected by McGinn. Johnson, good hate fake. Moves into the Nashville zone. He turns and makes the pass. Scooped in front. Cut off by Ellis. Pushed the puck ahead. McBaron to center ice. Backing it in. Benoit for the Avalanche to center. 3.5 minutes to go in the period. That puck deflected out of play. Why don't we go ringside and check in with Julie Brownman. Julie?
Hey guys, that PA Parento goal was exactly what Patrick Roy was talking about. Patrick told us in the media this morning the key is that for this team, they don't panic. They were down 1-0 to Winnipeg. They came back to win that one. Dallas, they were up 2-0. The Stars came back, forced overtime. Montreal tied it at 1. The resilience, and that's what he says makes this team very interesting. They do not panic, as we just saw. Yes.
Thanks, Julie. And yeah, listening to when Patrick was talking about that, Julie and Peter, he said it is resilience, but it's also a belief in if they just keep doing what they know what to do, they're going to have success. Shot comes wide of the net, and it is right at the side of the net. Varlamov sees it and covers for a faceoff.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this is a team now that, like, we've watched them travel along. In exhibition series, you know, they were 3 wins, 3 losses. As we look at this last little play by the Nashville Predators, Mike, but there was a belief that was growing, and their best game was the last game against the LA Kings in Las Vegas. And you could sort of see that was the first time they put all the pieces together, and you could almost after the game, you could see them going, hey, you know what? All the pieces together were pretty good. And then they started moving and just playing so well to start the season, and their confidence is just growing every day.
Now you get to be 12-1, and the other thing that Patrick Roy talked about, Peter, as they're winning these games, Duchesne's wrister off the arm of the goaltender Hutton, is that they're winning in different ways. Shot gets slowed up and then covered by Hutton. So it's not just winning one style, they're finding a lot of different ways to win. We take a look at who is in the Groove, presented by Groove Subaru. Well, all these different rankings, Peter, of where the Avalanche are this season. What a change from last year.
Yeah, and you run it all the way down, and that's why last year 4 times they won 2 in a row. They could not get to that number 3. This year they've there's been 2 6-game winning streaks, and for Patrick Roy, this, you know, you have to like the idea that, okay, you bend a little bit in this first period, but you didn't get that second goal up, and now this game is tied. Hutton's mask, I believe, got knocked off by that shot by Duchesne. Duchesne just walks through the middle, and it just comes through, and he may have just turned his head a little bit, Mike, and might have hit the buckle side on the side of the mask.
You can see what the snap is that keeps it tight when you put it on. Well, things have been fixed, and Carter Hutton, who's 3-1-1 this year, is only playing in his 8th NHL game in his career. Cullen against Mitchell for the faceoff. Mitchell, Talbot, McGinn for the Avalanche. Shot by Talbot, wide of the net. Oh, there's a hit, and Jones, and then Weber goes after McGinn, and then so does Gabriel Bourque. Jones is hurting. And meanwhile, there's a pile up between the circles in the Nashville zone with Jamie McGinn on the bottom. Let's see what happens with Jones. Is he going to the locker room or just taking a seat? He's going to the locker room, Peter.
He got hit hard. He was tied up with one guy, and Jamie McGinn, who has missed the previous 3 games with a knee injury, comes across and just... They're going to be screaming for 5. You know that. The last time that they were in town.
Colorado 11, minor penalty for charging, minor penalty for roughing. Nashville number 57, minor penalty for roughing.
Well, Nashville lost Josie for 10 games when Steve Downey hit him, and they were upset with that hit. And again, Jones facing the boards. And he went down to the locker room. Well, Jamie McGinn on this 3rd line now with Mitchell. And he saw him coming, but he turned into the glass.
You see his hand came up to his mouth there,
Yeah.
where he was holding it. And he's gone to the Nashville locker room. It is a power play situation for Nashville. Steele, backhand trying, a save made by Varlamov, and he's got to stretch to get on top of the puck and get another face-off. So Nashville on the power play. They were 0 for 3 the first time these two teams met in the 2nd game of the season for the Avalanche.
This is where face-offs become such a key. 2:20 to go in this period. Nashville desperately looking to get control of the puck in the Avalanche zone.
I'll tell you the penalties in a moment here. We get a chance. More than just McGinn getting a 2-minute minor for that hit. He got 2 minutes for charging plus 2 minutes for roughing, but then put 2 minutes on the clock for Gabriel Bourque of Nashville for roughing as well, as he went after McGinn after the hit. Those two roughing penalties cancel each other out, but the charging penalty to McGinn gives Nashville the power play. And it's 1:15 remaining in this man advantage for the Predators. Legwand with the puck. Shea Weber leads the team with 3 power play goals. Nice steal by Mitchell and a nice clear by Cavs penalty killer.
Weber has 4 goals this year, all coming in the first period.
Lifted in from center by Cullen. After it, Wilson from Colorado. Mitchell, McLeod, Sarch, and Wilson as the penalty killers for Colorado. Colin Wilson for Nashville. He's number 33. There's the puck behind the net from Smith, and around the boards for Ellis. His shot tipped to the side, scooped up by Smith. Centers in front, the shot, score! Nice looking goal by Craig Smith. But wait a minute.
Well,
The red light never came on.
No, but it was...
It was a goal, though.
Yeah.
The red light never came on. There was no signal that it was a goal. And I'm sure there'll be a review, but Peter, from our vantage point, it looked like it went in.
And
they're celebrating as if it was a goal.
Yeah, you're going to watch the up over the blocker of Varlamov. Smith again standing in front. Yeah, there's not much question on that one. Here will be a better angle just in the upper part of your screen. You're going to see the puck go to Smith. Great shot. Now, the net wasn't moved.
Yeah, it was pretty close to being coming off the moorings there.
I did not see that when it first happened, but I think the net had settled itself back down. Varlamov was trying to find that puck behind him. It was going back and forth, took kind of a funny bounce.
I mean, it rattled around in there in the corner, but from that replay, that puck went in. So Nashville's going to get a power play goal, and the Avalanche haven't given up too many power play goals this season, Peter. That's only their 5th power play goal they've given up, if this does count. We'll wait for the official word here.
Good.
Yeah, That is a goal. It's a power play goal and a rare one against the Avalanche this season. The penalty killing has just been superb for the Avalanche, but that power play goal in the final minute of the period on a really nice shot by Smith has given Nashville their lead.
And this is not a typical Nashville game that we're used to as far as the goals. This is the club now, but Nashville on this road trip, they're 1-0-1, a 7-game road trip. They scored 4 in Phoenix in a 5-4 overtime loss, and then they scored 4 in a 4-3 win over the LA Kings, and they got a couple here already in this hockey game.
Outshooting the Avalanche 10-9, lead the game 2-1.
Jones is back for the Nashville Predators, so that is tremendous news.
Jones with the puck, backing up into his own zone, makes the pass across for Weber.
Nashville goal is scored by number 15, Brent Smith.
Flipped around the boards, knocked down.
Colin Wilson.
Scooped in the corner by Nashville, then a hit by Johnson, frees up the puck.
3 seconds.
Spalling scooped it along the end boards. Hayden for the Avalanche, got it out. Jones moves it back in from center ice. Well, down to the last 15 seconds to go in the period as Duchesne moves in. Nice move. Then got Pocek and Jones right on him. Chopped that puck away from him. Just chopped him on the stick. Hornqvist one-on-one with Benoit. But we do have a whistle. The puck had been knocked down with a high stick. That's the reason for the stop and play with 3 seconds to go in the period.
Well, we have watched Matt Duchesne undress many defensemen this year. Jones, tremendously, Mike, just really a good skater. I watched him last game, the second game of the season, the first time these two clubs played. He doesn't get rattled. He sits on the end of the bench and he is just, he watches, but he doesn't use a lot of extra energy. He's a very calm kid.
Oh, that last goal by Nashville on the power play, Smith from Wilson and Ellis at 19:04 has given Nashville the lead after Stallberg and Parenteau had scored earlier. So Nashville, Peter, you have to tip the cap to the Predators. That was a good period for them, but the Avalanche, boy, they play with a lot of confidence even when they're down.
And now you're walking into this second period down by 1, but they've been there a couple times before, down going into periods, and you use that and come out and play strong here in the second.
Stallberg, Parenteau, Smith with the goals during our first period of play, and Nashville leads the game 2-1. Don't go anywhere. Stay ready for the Toyota intermission report. Nashville got a last-minute power play goal to take a 2-1 lead. We get set for the second period here at Pepsi Center in Denver. A big part of the game, and certainly was for you during your playing career, face-offs. What did you see during the first period?
Well, they happen about, believe it or not, it's about 60 times a game. There's a face-off, and you're going to watch Matt Duchesne and Paul Gaustad. Gaustad goes left-handed on that one, and then he switches over to the other side, and he is the only center iceman that I have seen that goes left-handed on one side and right-handed on the other. Now here he lost, now he switches back over, and Duchesne beats him for the 3rd straight time. Not easy to do against Gaustad, but he is a really unique guy in the sense that, Mike, I've never seen, I just can't remember seeing an ambidextrous face-off guy. And it's remarkable to watch because he is a strong guy.
Winning coming into this game over 61% of his face-offs this season. Well, 4th time in 14 games that Avs opponent has scored the first goal of the game. And only the 2nd time, Peter, this season they've trailed it for the first period. The other time was against Detroit. So this is something that the Avalanche have not had to deal with that much, trailing after 1 period.
They were down 2-0 in that game against Detroit, and maybe had one of their best second periods of the year, and came back to tie the game at 2.
Just begin our second period. Shot comes whistling wide of the net. Back up the board. Scooped down to center ice by Stastny. Makes the pass up ice. Landeskog's shot goes high. Around the boards, dropped, and apparently it hit the netting. So the puck has gone out of play.
Well, it was an interesting first shift. Clune, who is a big, strong guy for Nashville, he likes to get things going, likes to get things stirred up. McLeod comes across. That's right in the same weight class right there, those two guys.
After the draw, puck picked up by Nashville, carried through center. Back behind the net, chopped at by Hayda, swung around by Johnson, but not out of the zone. And a hit behind the net, but the puck freed up, centered out in front. Back towards the point. Josi able to hold it in momentarily. Tip to center. McKinnon with Stastny. Trying to make the pass to Stastny. Caught up in the skates, and then McKinnon knocked down by Klein. And Klein will send the puck across the rink. Nystrom for the trailer. Klein with a big shot. Save made by Varlamov. Rebound. Scramble for the puck. Still loose behind the Avalanche net. Drop there for Landeskog to take. Shoots the puck to center. Bobble momentarily. And turn back into the Nashville zone.
Mike, this has not been the crispest game that the Avalanche have played. There have been lots of turnovers in that first period and open guys in the scoring area.
Klein coming wide, shoots right on target. Save made by Varlamov. Long rebound, scooped up, carried up ice by Parento. Trail by O'Reilly. Shot, score! What a shot! What a shot by O'Reilly to score his 5th of the season to tie the game at 2. I mean, he pulled the trigger on that one.
Mike, there was a funny looking play. There's a shot came to Varlamov. He kicks it way out, and all of a sudden, puck goes back and they're gone. They are just gone. And nice read by O'Reilly. O'Reilly, Mike, what he does here is so perfect. Watch him see the play, slide into the open area, and then he's wide open. If he keeps driving towards the net, Parento's got nobody to pass it to. And he just uncorks a missile top shelf. Parento had a goal last game, a goal tonight. O'Reilly had a goal last game and a goal tonight.
Here's a scoring summary, 5th of the year for O'Reilly, coming at 2:15, and this line continues to work. Parento, Duchesne, his line mates, assisting.
Time of the goal, 2 minutes, 15 seconds.
So Parento and Duchesne both with 2-point nights already. And O'Reilly gets on the scoreboard, and the Avs have tied it up at 2. Nashville stays on side. Shot by Stallberg. That was a strong shot.
But it's interesting for the Avalanche. So many times this year we have seen that offensive pressure lead to goals. Tonight, on the rush, both goals, beautiful plays.
Starts backing the puck around, but waiting far side. Shot by Forsberg, tipped by Gaustad. And the Nashville Predators come right back and get the lead. I'm going to believe that Paul Gaustad tipped that in front of the net for his 3rd goal of the season.
And his 2nd against the Avalanche. He has now scored in both games for the Nashville Predators. And this is just good offensive pressure right here, just on the man. Puck goes around the wall. Like, you got to control the wall. You got to control the boards when those plays around. Good, solid play by Nashville, though. This is a well set up, well constructed forecheck. You know, a little bit of a tip right in front. A little bit of a break, but they set it up by being in exactly the right place. Sarge, that was the only place he could go. Mike was up the wall on that side, and then the Nashville player right there.
Forsberg set it up. Tip by Gaustad, giving Nashville their 3rd lead of the game.
Gaustad from Forsberg at 3:14.
Puck knocked down with a high stick. So it's 3-2 for the Predators.
Grab your 50-50
Gaustad, 3rd of the season at 3:14. And the only assist going to Philip Forsberg.
That's Forsberg's first point at even strength for Nashville this season. And he, of course, is a player just 19 years old. Washington Capitals drafted him with the draft pick that went from Colorado to Washington in the Varlamov deal.
Here are those 2 goals, 59 seconds apart. O'Reilly at 2:15 and then 3:14 the goal by Gaustad. 3-2 Nashville here in the 2nd. Swatted back through the middle zone. Jones will take it for the Predators. Right up the middle. Carried ahead by Forsberg. Wrist shot right on target. That one blocked by Varlamov. retrieved out at center ice by Klein. Makes the pass across. Ekholm shoots it into the Avalanche zone. Ruled to be icing on Nashville.
Kind of an interesting that the draft pick that went would be a Forsberg, that, you know, in the Colorado Avalanche deal with the Washington Capitals. But he is, like, he was a very interesting trade last year for Nashville. They gave up Martin Erad, a long-time Nashville Predator, but, you know, more of a depth player for the Washington Capitals in their playoff run last year. Forsberg, according to everybody, has got a real upside offensively.
Up for the Avalanche, Peter. This doesn't happen very much. Giving up 3 goals or more in a game. Second time this season. The other time was against those Red Wings.
And the Red Wings didn't score the third and fourth goal until the third period. So this is the first time inside the first 2 periods they've allowed 3 goals.
Pass comes around the end boards. Back to center ice. Handled by Stamkos. Rink wide. Turns through the middle zone. Bounced into the Nashville end. Shoots ahead. Stamkos feeds it on to Landeskog's got McKinnon in front. That pass was blocked by Klein of Nashville. Stallberg races into the Av zone. His shot off the skate of Benoit. Stallberg chases the puck down, works his way to the corner. Still with the puck. Handoff goes to Seth Jones. Maneuvers it for Colin Wilson. Shot right at the post, where it is held there by the goaltender Semyon Varlamov.
Well, you see Jones jumping up into the place. It's been interesting. There was a lot of different combinations that they could have put, you know, a lot of different players that they could have put Jones with. They went right to Shea Weber, and Jones has just stepped right in. And let me tell you, he and Weber, like, they're out there now with a lead like this. They'll be out here for half the game, the rest of the way.
Jones fires the puck off the back boards, where it's handled by Nick Spaulding. He gives to Colin Wilson. This line has been very good tonight for Nashville. Stallberg reversing behind the net. Gennon staying with him for the Avalanche. Pins him up against the boards, but Stallberg spins away free. Trying to cut down the middle. He shoots. Gennon got a stick on it to send it high. Parenteau for the Avalanche. Trying to clear, but Stallberg flagged it down. And then Parenteau, a little hook around the skates of Stallberg, is going to get a penalty. So Nashville about to get their second power play chance of the game. To learn about your new health insurance options, check out Connect for Health Colorado. Online at connectforhealthco.com or call the customer service center. Buy today, be covered in January.
Well, in a night when, like, the Avs aren't generating necessarily a lot of offense, they just have 10 shots to this point. This is a big penalty kill. You get that fourth goal for the Nashville Predators. They're good defensively.
Avalanche penalty number 15.
Second power play chance for Nashville. 1-for-1 tonight. Got it late in the first period. Greg Smith scored the power play goal for Nashville. That was his first power play goal of the season. Josie stick-handles his way in over the Avalanche blue line. Pass gets blocked. Ellis makes the pass for Cullen of Nashville. Down below, back to Cullen. His shot, but Varlamov came out and gave him nothing to shoot at. There was nothing.
But there was some good passing down low by Nashville. They really set that up well.
Pass through the middle for Wilson. He slips free, cuts in, centered, and that one bounced back to the boards. Josie. Ellis down low, shot, score! Colin Wilson. That's his third point of the game. He's got a goal and 2 assists. And Nashville scores another power play goal, their second of the game. And they lead this one 4-2.
For Wilson, he comes into tonight's game like a goal, 4 assists, 5 points. And I have watched this guy, and I kept saying to myself, man, is this kid talented? He could just put it all together. He's big. He's dangerous around the scoring area. He's got good hands, and tonight we're seeing why Nashville really feels like this is a kid that can do an awful lot for them. He just gets that consistency to his offensive game.
Well, we had 3 goals scored in the first period. We've already had 3 goals scored here in the second. And for only the second time this season, the Avalanche give up 2 power play goals in a game. It happened against Detroit. And their only loss of the season.
This is a little ominous, the comparisons that are going on. But for the Avs, now it's that, okay, we have to find something more. We have to find that gear. Got to get ourselves going. We've scored on 2 really nice plays, but rushes up the ice. They need to get the puck in the zone and get some pressure down low.
Defenseman Eric Johnson's chance is tipped into the screen, out of play. Well, that's an exchange of goals. 2 of them belongs to Nashville, including the last one by Wilson to give them a 4-2 lead.
Oh, Nashville doubling up the Avalanche right now, 4-2. But Mike, look at the Western Conference versus the Eastern Conference. This is when you take all the teams inside the division. The Atlantic Division as a group is 9 games under 500. At Metropolitan, 3 games over. Now let's go to the Pacific and the Central. Pacific, 27 games over 500. The Central, where Nashville and Colorado are, 31 games.
So how do you explain this?
The West has just dominated the East in head-to-head competition. And that's where all these extra points are coming from, which makes it so hard to... You think the Avalanche would be a mile ahead of everybody. Anaheim's got another point. It's 1 more point than the Avalanche. 2 clubs have 24 points, the same as the Avalanche. So, I mean, as much as the Avalanche great start, you have to keep going.
Avalanche right now got to get going. They're down by 2. 12 minutes left to go in the second period. Trailing 4-2 to Nashville. The Avs right now have mustered just 10 shots during this game. Weber's pass, a breakaway by Stallberg, and his stick broke. Just as he was taking the shot, the stick broke. McKinnon, the other direction. But coming back, it's broken up. Trying to drop it for Stastny, but they didn't connect. Answer Price. Hornqvist lost the puck. Avalanche hustle the other direction. O'Reilly dropped it for Duchesne. Back to O'Reilly. Shot kicked out by Huff. Leguan makes the pass. Scooped across by Nystrom through the neutral zone. Swung back by Johnson of the Avalanche. Nystrom takes it for Nashville. Pass off the boards. Leguan directs the puck in. And Johnson back to the puck. Hayden rubbed off the puck, centered in the slot, but it's blocked by O'Reilly. Smith had a man open in the slot. Parenteau with Duchesne with him. That one went on target, and the save made by the goaltender.
Well, Stallberg, who has a goal in this game. Great pass by Weber up through the middle. I mean, Shea Weber is the captain of this hockey club and the undisputed leader. Like, he'll be on the Olympic team, and he'll be a big part of Canada's chances to repeat as gold medal winners. But Stallberg, I think he's got that one thing that you can't take away. Stanley Cup ring.
From behind the net, Nashville sends it one-handed up the boards. Gabriel Bourque through the middle zone. Weber's got it just inside the line. Flipped it behind the Avalanche net. Benoit on it for Colorado. Outlet pass for Mitchell. His pass cut off. Center ice by Forsberg. Benoit pass. Sent out to center by Mitchell for Talbot. That's broken up. And again for the Avalanche. Launches the puck to the corner. Comes back around. Rammed up to the near side. Clune chasing for Nashville. Slipped the check of Eric Johnson. Hayden's pass for Johnson. That one bounced away from him. And Ekholm looks to make a pass. Stopped by Mitchell. And flip it down the glass for McKinnon. We got a pile of players right outside the Nashville blue line. Comes back into the Colorado end. Was chased down by the defenseman Eric Johnson. He gets pushed up against the boards. Nashville on the puck. Rostad got one of the goals in this period for Nashville. Moves the puck around. Landeskog for the Avalanche. Finds an open man. Hayden through the middle. Carried by McKinnon. Trying to split the defense. He's in. Poke check by the goaltender. There'll be a penalty on Nashville. So the Avalanche about to get their first power play chance of the game. McKinnon draws the penalty. Avs coming back on the power play.
Well, for the Avalanche now, Nathan McKinnon might driving through the middle. And again, the Avalanche, Mike, they just need more of this, more of those pucks going through the middle, more hunting down the puck in the Nashville zone. He's pulled down, and now the Avalanche go on the power play.
Matt Duchene take the face off against Paul Gaustad. And the Avalanche this season 0 for 5 against Nashville in that first meeting earlier in October.
10 minutes, 48 seconds.
Pinballed around the skates of goaltender Semyon Varlamov, but the Avalanche hustled back. And it's Parenteau. Sends it over the line for O'Reilly. Broken up and shot down the ice by Nashville. The Avs score on the power play. A lucky winner will get tickets to an upcoming game. For a chance to win, you can register at afwonline.com/altitude. Johnson finds the puck. Gets harassed by Ford. Puts the puck behind the net. Ekholm sends up the board. Parenteau right on it. Parenteau has been part of the 2 goals for the Avalanche in this game. A goal and an assist tonight for P.A. Parenteau. Nashville ranked 10th in the league, killing penalties. Shoots the puck into the Avalanche zone. It's Spaulding dumping it back behind the Avalanche net. 50 seconds left in the penalty. Roman Josi for interference at 10:48, taking down Nathan McKinnon, putting Nashville in a shorthanded situation. The Avs on the power play, but the Avs having a hard time getting set up.
Yeah, it's just nothing's really working right now. The Duchene lines had a couple of real outstanding offensive bursts. But again, this is an Avalanche club that all season long has relied on everybody participating in all the action, and it's just not. They're looking for a spark, Mike.
Landeskog through the middle, flipped it across for McKinnon. Back to the corner for Landeskog. Roped around the boards. Stastny's got a little time. Back to the point, sent across, one-timer. Stick save made by Hutton. And that's it. And the penalty. One shot on net during that power play chance for the Avalanche. Remains a 4-2 lead for the Predators. 7 minutes to go in the second period. Again, sends the puck to the Avalanche. The Nashville Predator zone. With the puck to Legwand coming out of the zone. Sends it ahead. Stallberg. He's had a very strong game. Back into along the backboards. Stallberg fighting McKinnon for the puck, and Stallberg will come out of the corner with it for Nashville. His pass intercepted by McGinn. Skates in, pass on the slot, score! Paul Stastny on a tip, and the Avalanche get their 3rd goal of the game, and Stastny scores his 5th of the season.
Well, Paul Stastny has been brilliant of late. He has had like 6 consecutive games where he has been a plus player. Came into tonight's game plus 10. But this is that spark. Again, for the Avalanche, it's been very interesting. They can't get a lot of pressure down low, but all 3 goals they have scored in tonight's game have come directly off the rush. And they have, I mean, that is the one area where that speed, that transition is so difficult to handle. And it has been the transition and the rush that has kept the Avalanche in this game.
That is 3 goals on 14 shots for the Avalanche. And all 3 goal scorers have scored their 5th of the season. Parenteau, O'Reilly, and now Stastny.
2 minutes, 37 seconds of the second period.
And the Avs are within 1.
At 13:37.
Begin with the assist at 13:37. 3rd assist of the season. Cullen, wrist shot. Directed wide. Important for Nashville. Left it for Cullen. A shot kick save made by Varlamov. O'Reilly through the middle. Jams it in, chased it, and almost got to it. He put that off the board and then went for the puck.
Like on purpose. That is a set play. He knows the boards in this building. That was
nice pass, Parenteau. Benoit threw it back across the low slot to the point. Skinner, Duchesne spins, backhands it through the low slot. Wilson for Nashville. Just over 5 minutes left in the second period. Crash at the blue line with Duchesne and Ellis. And Benoit back for the puck. Backhanded around. McKinnon trying to break up the play along the boards. With little help, McKinnon leads Landeskog to center. Backhanded in. Landeskog dragging the puck along the boards. Reverses it back for Stastny. Dropped it off the boards. Nice for Nashville. Sends it up. Couldn't get it out. Then a lead pass ignites. Nystrom through the middle. Drop pass for Jones. Smacks the puck to the corner. Landeskog reverses it back behind his net. Pass up the middle. Flag down. Turned over. Shot by Hornqvist. Goes wide. Bounced up off the boards. Clune centers for Legwand. He was tied up. Eric Johnson was on him. McKinnon sprints through the middle. Poke checked away. Legwand lead pass for Hornqvist. Sealed away by Johnson. Shot around the boards. Pass knocked down by Legwand for Nashville. And the Predators are offside. We'll return in a moment. 4 goals scored in this period. Last one scored by Stastny of the Avalanche. Luxury has an address. Kearney Lexus invites you to see the full line of Lexus all-weather drive sedans and luxury utility vehicles for 2014. They're available at Kearney Lexus of Greenwood Village. Now open at Bellevue and I-25 and at Kearney Lexus in Colorado Springs.
at Forsberg in the box for the Nashville Predators, Mike, and here's that opportunity to turn this whole game around with a power play goal.
That's a bench minor for having too many men on the ice, and Forsberg serving that penalty.
12 seconds of the second period.
So the Avalanche second power play chance in the game. Duchesne, side of the net pass for O'Reilly. Give it right back to Duchesne. O'Reilly shot, big save made by Hutton. Back to Parenteau. Tip to the near wall, where it's picked up by Duchesne. Saucer pass, O'Reilly shot, knocked down. Get back across. Avalanche put the pressure on. Duchesne with Predators leading 4-3, but the Avalanche scored the last goal and now have a power play chance. And moving the puck. Shot by Mitchell, saved by Hutton. Already 3 shots during this power play chance for the Avs.
Tanguay's spot on the power play has been taken by John Mitchell. Great chance right there.
Stastny behind him for McKinnon. Centering pass, tip back up the boards, and Spalling for the Predators able to clear the zone. Johnson slides a pass to center for Benoit. Run around the glass, dropped for Stastny, bounced it back to the point, stays inside the zone. Benoit's pass behind the net for Landeskog. He gets checked. Boy, the Avs very aggressive going after that puck. Landeskog puts it back to the point for Benoit. He winds, he shoots, kicked away by Hutton. That's now 4 shots on this power play for the Avalanche. Heritage center, 2-on-1, 3-on-2 developing, and Forsberg came out of the penalty box. But the puck is just dumped in. Forsberg chased it down, threw it through the crease. So the Avalanche not able to score on that power play with 4 shots on net.
Hunt made a couple of real nice saves. Moving out, reading the play well.
Now to the Avalanche. across the rink. Flipped in. Again, in along the boards by Weber. Puck comes to center ice. Batted back into the neutral zone. Scooped up by McGinn. The final minute of the second period. Pass tipped on net. Hutton had to be alert to make that left pad save. Talbot finds Mitchell. Shot blocked in front by Legwand from Nashville. And up the board, they had to be careful not to get caught with too many men on the ice. They're making a change as that puck was coming up the boards. Duchesne's got it for the Avalanche. He turns and shoots. That was blocked by Jones from Nashville. Sarch has his pocket pick. Hornquist carries the puck in, turns and shoots, and that one skimmed off the skate of Erik Johnson. Down to the last dozen seconds here in the second period. Parenteau over the line, but lost the puck. Stahlberg hustles, 3 seconds to go. One more shot if he can hustle. And the shot is blocked as the horn sounds, and Erik Johnson stung a bit as he blocked that shot. Popped right back up, and we have come to the end of the second period. Wow, Peter, there were 4 goals scored during that second period. Not your typical Nashville-Colorado game tonight.
Absolutely not. There was some little lulls, but then the action would pick up. And the Avalanche's speed, their transition game, results gave them all 3 of their goals in this game, and has given them a chance to go into the third period just down by 1.
Our score after 2 periods at Pepsi Center in Denver, Colorado. It's Nashville 4 and Colorado 3. Stay tuned. Next up, our Subaru Intermission Report. Colorado Avalanche Hockey on Altitude is brought to you by Groove Subaru on Broadway or online at grooveauto.com. Pepsi, live for now. Chevy, stop into your Colorado Chevy dealer today to learn about the new 2014 Chevy Silverado. Strong for all the roads ahead. Fanatics.com, your source for official Avalanche gear. Fanatics.com, where Avalanche fans shop. And by your local Ford stores. Ford, go further. Only the second time this season the Avalanche go into the third period down in the game. They trail Nashville 4-3 after 2 periods. But for the Avalanche, their goals, Peter, have come on spectacular rushes up the ice. I mean, they've been beautiful goals they've scored tonight.
They have been great goals. They've been speed goals. There have been creative goals. Now, when you watch all 3, as the Avalanche are coming up the ice in this first one, watch the play by Duchesne. Now, the defenseman dives. Parenteau drives to the net. But a beautiful move on the rush by Duchesne. And here again, just a great pass by Parenteau to O'Reilly, who makes a real smart. He sort of pulls into the soft area right behind the Nashville sort of defenseman coming back. This one, it's Stastny driving to the net, and another great pass. So on each one of them, there were goals scored, Mike, off of really good passes off of the rush for the Avalanche.
You can see Erik Johnson is in the penalty box. Why? It's a 10-minute misconduct. What happened, Peter?
Yeah, it was the strangest one you're going to see. We'll show it to you when we get a quick break, but his stick was broken. He went to flick it into the corner. Half of it went into the crowd, and half of it stayed on the ice. The referee gave him the 10-minute misconduct right as the period ended.
While Nashville doesn't get a power play, the Avalanche use up 10 minutes worth of time in this third period without having Erik Johnson available, who would play a lot of that 10 minutes.
Absolutely. He's a 6-7 minute man per period. And here's the play. It looks innocent enough. He comes through. No, the stick is not cracked in half. He just banged off the body. But you saw Johnson throw it up. Johnson's getting explained to him right here. And again, this is a safety issue. You can't have guys mad and throwing their stick up into the crowd, because obviously anything can happen.
Yeah, especially when it's broken.
Yeah.
Landeskog into the zone, gets poke checked, but kept inside the zone by Benoit. The Stastny lost the puck. Nashville to center ice with Hornquist. Stastny hustles back checking. And Stastny with the puck. Nashville got it back. Pushed ahead by Nystrom. Comes in on the off wing. Cuts down the middle. Pass across. Open for a redirect from Legwar. McKinnon for Colorado. Lay a pass out at center ice for Landeskog. Bounce back into the Avalanche zone. Benoit through the middle and yanks that puck in to the Nashville end. Klein will take it on the fly from behind the net. Makes the pass to center for Smith. Shoots the puck into the Avalanche zone. McKinnon on it. Takes a hit. And the puck given back to Nashville, but then Gennon takes it back to the Avalanche. Pass up through the middle. No icing on this play. Hutton with the puck in the corner. Weber. His pass broken up by the Avalanche. Shane's line out with Parenteau and O'Reilly. Cullen for the Predators. Shoots the puck into the Avalanche zone. Gets chased right at the side of the net, where it's covered. The glove by Varlamov.
You know, we've been talking an awful lot about Weber and Jones tonight. Mike, looking at the stats, they're -3. They've been on the ice for all 3 of those rushes up the ice by the Avalanche. But for Jan Hayden now, for example, Mike, this adds to the ice time that he would normally get. His partner is Eric Johnson, but now you've got to add those minutes that he would play to each one of the defensemen. The Avalanche do play all 6 defensemen on a real regular basis.
Again for the Avalanche. Chip off the boards, try to get it out of the zone. Finally, it is sent out to center. Nashville right on it. See, it's Ekholm. Sends the puck around the boards of the Avalanche zone. Into the corner. Spalling shot. Tipped wide by Sarch. Kept in by Ekholm. Shoots it into the corner of the Avalanche zone. Back for Spalling. He's squashed against the boards by Sarch to the Avs. Puck travels around the boards. Sent ahead by McGinn for Mitchell. Mitchell with a shot that comes wide of the net. Back up the board. Play to Hayda. His shot. That one caromed off a Nashville player. Slammed back around the wall. Hayda pinched in. The Nashville Stallbergs able to carry the puck to center. Shoots it in right on the glove of goaltender Semyon Varlamov. Avalanche. They get into center ice. He gets tangled up, taken by Hornquist for Nashville. Landeskog rides him along the boards, give him a little shove and takes away the puck. What a play by Landeskog. What a play. Landeskog to center, makes the pass over the line. Shot by McKinnon, missed wide. And then covered by the goaltender Carter Hutton at the Nashville net. Well, let's see what's coming up. What's on tap for the Avalanche? Brought to you by Coors Light. Join us Friday night. Avs host Calgary Flames. Start coverage at 6:30 here on Altitude.
And old friend Bob Hartley. You know, the Calgary Flames are in a rebuilding mode. They have the kid Monahan, the center iceman that they picked right after the Avalanche pick. And can he play hockey? He is. He's had a tremendous season. Just another look at a really talented young player coming in the league.
And we'll see a couple of old Avalanche players as well. And Shane O'Brien, David Jones. They were part of the first trade that Joe Sakic made this summer. And the Avalanche loving that trade, getting Alex Tanguay back and Corey Sarch. They've been key components for the Avalanche team this year.
And Joe Sakic was saying, it was a tough trade because he had been a line mate with Jones. And had to call him and tell him, yeah, how you doing?
We were line mates, but I won a cup with Alex, so I don't feel horrible. And it's center ice. To the red line. Shot in or around the boards. Cut off by Smith. He's got one of the goals in this game. Smith with the puck. Gives to Cullen. Back to Smith. Checked by Benoit. Work for Nashville. Gives to Cullen. Shoots it back around behind the Avalanche net. We've used up 4 minutes in this third period. And it remains a 4-3 lead for Nashville. That was our score when this period began. Gaustad, who also has scored in this game for Nashville. Stallberg, Smith, Gaustad, and Wilson for Nashville. Duchesne, line up the middle. He scores! What a play! He just burst between the defense, fired a shot in to tie this game at 4. And Duchesne, he's got a three-point night with a goal and 2 assists. What an electrifying play by Matt Duchesne.
Maybe I'm just in the moment, Michael, but that may be the prettiest goal I've seen him score. That was spectacular. I always get so upset that you can't feel the speed watching it on TV. I mean, Mike, he came through that neutral zone so fast. Klein, number 8 right there, thought that there was no problem on the play. And all of a sudden, oh my goodness, am I in trouble. And he just ties this game up. Again, another play for the Avalanche with their speed.
Here's his key and scoring summary on that goal. That is now 10 goals this season for Matt Duchesne. McLeod and Sarch with the assists. For McLeod, his second assist of the season, and for Sarch, he gets his second assist as well. What a highlight goal from Matt Duchesne.
Was he going?
Equalizer.
You know, he has the speed, Peter, but it's one thing just to be skating fast. He did such a great job of protecting the puck from Klein, and then what a shot. He just snapped that one right by the goaltender. So there's all those factors into it.
That's a great point. I mean, there was so much hockey in there. There was the skating, there was the quickness, there was the read that he made, that he angled, and the strength, and he held it, and then when he did get open, that perfect time to shoot the puck. So let's watch it again in real
you know what,
speed.
Peter, let me add this. What a great goal celebration.
Oh, well, that part, I'll leave that to you. You love those. Look at he waited. The man,
Here we go.
the stick comes through, and he just punches that home, and man, is that... Now the Avalanche are back to even in this hockey game.
Nashville looked like they were in good shape, and when they went up 4-2, had scored a couple of power play goals. That second one gave them a 2-goal lead. They look like great shape, but this Avalanche team, it really has shown that resilience.
Well, you look at Alex team. It's Alex team for St. Louis. What a year he's having. Ovechkin came back last night, had a couple of goals. What a treat to watch this man play. He's going to be here on Sunday. Stamkos, Palmerville for Minnesota, really making that trade last year look good coming over from Buffalo. But I'll tell you, they'll take Duchesne in the way that he has played this year.
Well, Duchesne had not scored in the last 2 games for the Avalanche. But what a goal he scored here in the third period to tie it up at 4. McKinnon brings that to the puck. Rubbed away from the puck by Yossi. Cullen counters the other way for Nashville. Makes a nice pass for Bork. He goes to the net. Cullen. The pass caught Gannon in the skate. And McKinnon transitions to offense. But Nashville clogs things up in the neutral zone. Hayden's pass through the middle. Shot by Parenteau in deep into the Nashville zone. Flipped it back behind the net. Jones up the middle. Glanced away from Smalling. Jones got it back. Gives to Weber. 4-4 hockey game. Close in shots as well. 21 for Nashville. 20 for the Avalanche. Down to the ice, but kept his composure and stayed with it. And then the puck brought in offside by Nashville. Matt Duchesne, this is how you celebrate a goal. And it's 4-4. Let's answer tonight's Did You Know question, brought to you by Stevenson Automotive, Colorado's home team. As have had their second 6-game winning streak of the season. What's the longest in Avs history? Here's your answer. 12. Congratulations, Mary. Knew that correct answer.
That was his 98-99 season for the Colorado Avalanche.
Now, Matt Duchesne here in the third period. Got his 3rd point of the game. His goal go along with 2 assists. Gives him his 13th career 3-point game. His career high. Had a 4-point game before. Duchesne has the puck. Lost it. And the other direction by Stallberg. Chugging down the far side. Shot save made by Varlamov. There's a rebound just sitting there, pretty juicy, but turned away. There's a chance down the middle. Score by Colin Wilson. I tell you what, he's having a whale of a game too. And the Predators now lead it 5-4. That is his 4th point of the game. And again, Stahlberg making plays, Peter.
Stahlberg's been, I mean, he's been a coach's decision for the games that he hasn't played this year. This is only his 9th game. But Wilson has just had the Avalanche reaching in a little bit. I mean, there's a player in a 4-4 game. You go hard up the wall. Instead, it's a little chip pass into the middle. It's a little poke, and all of a sudden, the Predators, who are, especially this line, you cannot give them these kind of chances.
Has been the best line by far for Nashville, and now it's 5-4 for the Preds.
Nashville goal scored by number 33, Colin Wilson, assisted by number 25.
Down the middle, Landeskog, saved by Hutton.
34 seconds.
The Predators have scored 5 goals 4 times. 4 of those 5 goals has given them a lead in the game. Because the Avalanche have been chasing the Predators all game long.
They caught him once, but it has been at 4-4, but you know, right back at it for the Nashville Predators. This is the most goals combined in any one game for the Avalanche all season. The highest before this was 7 goals in the first game of the season, a 6-1 win.
Benoit. Nasty save made by Hutton. Back to the point for Sarge. Stop behind the net by McKinnon. Gives to Stastny. Center. Landeskog backhander off the side of the Preds net. Good shift here for the Stastny line. To the point for Benoit. His shot blocked. Ricocheted out to center. 11:15 left in the 3rd period. 5-4 Nashville. And we got an icing call on Colorado.
But for the Avalanche, now these are the kind of shifts that you want to start to set up. You see Weber and Jones out there for Nashville. They'll be out there a lot. These are the ones that tire you out. Jan Hejda, again, just a good, solid hip check. You just don't see that very often anymore. You don't see that kind of check.
Talbot was going to take the face-off, tossed out. It'll be Stastny taking the draw against Matt Cullen. Avalanche end up with the puck. Pumped ahead to center ice. Stastny off the boards, intended for Talbot. Can't cash it. Ekholm scooped it off the boards, got the puck out of the zone. Sent across the rink. And Talbot backhanded in. Overskated. Picked up by Mitchell on the steal. Pass back to the point for Hejda. High in the slot. Dribbled towards the net and covered by Hutton. Hey, if you're looking for a great car, check out the all-new Kias. Go to ColoradoKiaDealers.com and you're going to find a great cars. Kia's full lineup, high quality, stylish, and dependable vehicles from Kia.
As he has done all season long for the Avalanche. Patrick Roy here at home especially, where he has the final change. Saw Nashville change and puts the line on the ice that he wants to go against this line.
Sent around the boards. Cleach, Bordeleau, McLeod for the Avalanche. Lifted to center. Knocked ahead. And Varlamov out of the net to play it. Up the boards. McLeod shoots it in from center. Rammed around the boards. That one's hooked out to center. Cleach back in, and we're halfway through the 3rd period. 10 minutes to go. 5-4 Nashville. Ellis shot. That one is up high on Varlamov. To center ice. Duchesne to O'Reilly. These 5 goals scored against the Avalanche. Most of the Avs have given up in a game this season. Previously 4 against Detroit, and no other team other than that Detroit game has scored more than 2 goals against the Avalanche. but Nashville's managed 5 on 24 shots tonight.
And a couple of them coming on the power play, which has right now been the difference in the game.
Pass up the middle, directed in by Clune. Gannon set it behind the net, then back by Hayda. Up the ice for Parenteau. Through the middle circle for O'Reilly. Gives to Stastny. He shoots. And that one deflected away. McKinnon holds it in. From behind the net, the puck carried out to center ice by Yossi.
With all this continuous action, Johnson can't get a whistle to get out of the box where he's been a minute and 15 seconds extra in the penalty box.
Good play continuing on. Back into the Avalanche zone. The puck travels right towards Varlamov. Steered behind for Benoit. Gets the pass back. Then through the middle zone. Steal made by Mitchell. He carries into the Nashville zone. Cuts across. He shoots, had it blocked, but it's followed by Benoit. Makes the pass, the shot off the chest of Hutton. Back to center ice. Long pass across for Benoit, but the Avalanche are offside. Nashville has taken the lead in the third period on Wilson's second goal of the game.
Mike Duchene. What a game, what an electrifying game he has had. He just had a quiet goal and a couple of assists. He has been doing this one coming down the ice. He was just flying, got this building going, tied the game. But Mike, it's interesting now with these 3 points tonight. He has 17 points in the season, and barring what other guys that may have done around the league, he has moved into 9th spot in scoring in the NHL.
Big night for Matt Duchene, but his team trails 5-4. Bouncing puck wide to the Nashville net. Jones setting up the boards. Back to Seth Jones. He finds Weber behind the Nashville net. And his pass leads a nice one through the neutral zone into the Avalanche end. High in the slot. He shoots. And off the left leg of Varlamov. Good rush by Johnson, but then separated from the puck. He'll take a bounce. Drop pass, Wilson. And just stick check to the last moment by Landeskog. Duchene flying through center, cuts in. His shot slowed up by Klein. Then Duchene comes up with the puck somehow. Shoots it across the rink for Benoit. 7 minutes to go in the third. 5-4 Nashville.
He's got to be a nightmare to face right now, Duchene, because you can just feel him get the puck with the confidence that he's going to do something.
The Nashville team is involved in 8 one-goal games so far this season. Coming into tonight, they're 6-0-2. They know how to play these close games. Well, Colin Wilson Peters had himself a great game. He's tied his career high with 4 points. Now, he's never had a hat trick, but he's been great tonight for Nashville.
And
4 points.
Yeah, and again, no lucky ones. I mean, he's made the plays, he's scored the goals. He has just been on the puck. There's a couple other opportunities that he's had where, he has just missed. But this is the kind of player he can be, and it must be frustrating for Nashville to look and say, wait a minute, he's got 4 points tonight, you have 5 points all season. And because they need, with Pekka Rinne potentially out, they're going to have to score some goals, although this road trip, what a trip.
17 days, 7 games.
13 goals they've scored so far.
Shot. That one tipped wide. Coming off a 4-goal game against normally a very tough team to score on, the Los Angeles Kings. That was the last game out. They got 5 tonight. Shot by Johnson, skims wide. Calvin pushed against the board. That frees the puck for Weber. Backhanded around. Comes right back towards the corner. Gaustad makes the outlet pass to the defenseman, the rookie Seth Jones. Shoots the puck in. Jones has 2 goals and 5 assists for 7 points this season. And 1 power play goal for Nashville. That's through the middle. Landeskog stripped away by Legwand. Then Landeskog got it back, and he picked it off the iron. What a chance for Landeskog. Made a great steal, and then a terrific chance, but it hit the crossbar. From the point, Landeskog shot redirected wide. 5:10 left in the 3rd period. Stastny for the Avalanche. Centers for McKinnon, but he was being held up and fanned on the chance.
And as you would well expect, here comes Duchesne's line again.
O'Reilly Duchesne, he gulped that one high. Back up the boards. Hayden pinched in. Gets the puck in play momentarily. Tipped away, back into the Avalanche zone. Hayden hustling. Plays it across for Erik Johnson to take. 4:30 left in the 3rd period. Long pass tipped by Jones. From Nashville, took the puck away. Played the puck behind the net. Tipped in by the Avalanche. And the puck comes in front of the Nashville net where it's covered by the goaltender Carter Hutton. Well, a few moments ago, Landeskog stole the puck from Legwand. Made a great try, but it's still 5-4 Nashville.
Dave Landeskog, what a play he just made, and just bounced it off the top of the bar. He just stayed with it. He just strips the puck. He's so strong. And he just, Legwand, I mean, under no circumstance did he know that Landeskog was still on him.
All right, here's the scenario. 4:19 to go in the 3rd period. 5-4 for Nashville. The face-off in the Predators zone. On the drop, fight for the puck. Popped out to center. Hayden back it up. That's the pass through the circle. Parenteau splitting through, but Jones reached and able to spring that puck. Roped around the boards, Legwand and Duchesne battling. Parenteau scoops the puck, pitching in from the point. Johnson trying to maneuver his way in front. It does come free, but then yanked out to center ice by the Predators. Avalanche back for the puck. Off the boards for Duchesne. Sent it in. Off the boards at center ice for Hornsby. He shoots it into the Avalanche zone. Varlamov out of the net to play it for Erik Johnson. Bounced out to center. Wilson on it. Moves down the far side wing. What a night for him. 4 points, 2 goals, 2 assists for Colin Wilson. Mitchell leaves the puck for O'Reilly. 3:15 to go in the 3rd. 1 goal difference. Steal at center by Klein. Onside. Drop past Dahlberg. Shot. And it is stopped and covered by Varlamov.
Well, we're under 5 minutes to go. We're down by a goal. So this is when you're going to see the defensemen really start to be active in the offensive zone. Now, the Avalanche defensemen this year have been much more active as a group throughout the game. But there are chances, Mike, usually 80-20, you bounce into the play. Here, 50-50. I mean, maybe even odds less than that. You're going to be jumping up into the play.
Mitchell wins the draw. Pushed around the boards, back to center. Weber tees up the puck and slams it back in. That Weber's going to get some serious ice time here, isn't it? Into the corner. Cullen circling behind the net. Batted away. Kennan swats at the puck. And it climbs over the glass and goes out of play.
If you mean he's going to be on the ice the entire time, yeah, that's serious ice time. What I understand.
He's going to yell change and coach is going to go no.
Change? No, you're not.
Well, Patrick Waugh. Again, this is real, another learning experience for this Avalanche team, isn't it?
Absolutely. With the coaching staff, they're looking at all the things that are happening right and wrong in this game.
Pass ahead for Landeskog. Moving down the wing. He shoots, save, rebound, and that's sent wide by Johnson. But there again, Peter. Erik Johnson's right in front of the net, involved. Nashville with the puck into the Avalanche zone. The drop pass for Klein. He shoots, glove save by Varlamov. And he is forced to hold it for a face-off with 2:17 left.
Now for Erik Johnson, everybody you talk to that knows, about hockey said the one thing that Johnson is doing so well this year, he's just moving his feet. He's constantly moving forward. You never see him sitting back on his heels trying to make the play. Everything's forward, 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 and his feet are moving, and he is a big, powerful locomotive when he gets going.
Spaulding turns and shoots. That got blocked. Cleared out. They're going to call icing on the Avs. The whistle. The other thing that you talk about so much, Peter, is this is where we learn what Coach Waugh, what players he likes in these situations here. This is crunch time, and who does he count on at this point?
Who does he count on? And this all started in the first 5 minutes of the game, Mike, when Patrick Waugh started to get a feel for who was playing well in tonight's game. Who's skating? Who's moving? Who's the guy that you know you're going to want late in the game?
Well, the Duchesne line has been terrific, and they're out there right now. That puck slid away from Varlamov. The centering try by Wilson got blocked. We're under 2 minutes left in the third. O'Reilly. His shot blocked by Weber. O'Reilly turns and shoots. Blocker save made by Hutton. Duchesne spinning in the corner, trying to get free. Goes back to the point. Shot by Benoit, and that is caught by the goaltender Hutton. Speaking of goaltenders, Varlamov has gone to the Avalanche bench. Extra skater out for the Avs.
On this particular play, Nashville takes the wall away. So what does Duchesne do? Just boom, pulls it to the forehand, throws it back to the point. The Avalanche don't quite get the presence in front of the goaltender that they wanted to have.
There you see Varlamov on the bench, and Coach Waugh, he's going to call timeout. That face-off in the Nashville zone. He uses his one timeout he's allotted with 1:33 to go. Now, he'd set some strategy, Peter, I would think, and also that Duchesne line, he wants them to be rested as much as they can for the last 90 seconds.
Now, they've gone over this tons of times in practice, but where you're going over everybody's specific assignment here. Win the draw, lose the draw, whatever the situation, you're going over just to remind the players, each guy, and then on top of it, the guys that are coming out next, because we've got, what, a minute and 33. This will not just be one rotation for the Avalanche. There'll be this line plus one more group that goes on in, maybe even two if it really stretches out.
Right now for the Avalanche, Duchesne, Parenteau, O'Reilly, that line. Johnson is the only defenseman. Stastny and Landeskog are also out. So there are 5 forwards and 1 defenseman for the Avalanche out on the ice. So 5 forwards out for the Avs, and it's Stastny who will take the faceoff.
Gostad going with the left-handed face-off on this one.
And Johnson back at the left point. Duchesne set up at the right point for the Avalanche. He's out of your picture right now, but he's to the right. And a scramble for the puck. Bounced out to center ice by Spaulding. Nashville didn't go for that empty net. And the Avalanche coming back into the Nashville zone, trying to find an opening. And it's rammed around by Landeskog, set up behind the net by the goaltender, smashed around by Weber, and it bounced off of Johnson. Well, they have to come back into the Avalanche zone for the puck. No change of the 6 players after that timeout yet. The Avalanche. Yossi swatting at the puck, putting it in the corner. Duchesne drags the puck along. He gets free. It comes loose. Carried out to center. And a chance for Hornquist. He chipped it down the boards as he took a hit from Parenteau. So he could not get a shot towards that empty net. That allows the Avalanche another rush here. They still have not changed up those players since the timeout. Shot in, directed wide by the goaltender. Tangled up along the boards. Who can come up with a puck? O'Reilly does. O'Reilly feeds back to Parenteau. Cross site, blocked by Leg, but he wasn't even looking. He wasn't even looking. And now an empty net chance And there is the goal that's going to seal it for Nashville. Peter, I'd like to see that replay, and I don't think that leg one, he just had his stick out.
Yeah, he just
trying to prevent the pass.
You would try and just take away a lane and hit him right in the middle of the blade and stops as the Avalanche were trying to create one more good scoring opportunity.
Watch, he stumbled. Oh my goodness, he stumbled, and as soon as he gets up, his stick's right there in front of the pass. And then Gabriel Bork with the empty netter. And the Nashville Predators are going to win tonight's game.
And you talk about a interesting road trip. I mean, this looked like it was going to be a long one. Phoenix is playing great hockey. They got a point there. LA's tough to beat at home. They win there. The Avalanche have played great hockey so far this season. They come in and win this one. So what a way to start a 7-game road trip.
The Avalanche, it'll be just their second loss of the season, both coming here at home to stop a 6-game winning streak, and the season series with Nashville now evened up at 1. Well, a 6-4. We had 10 goals, 6-4 win for Nashville, and not the kind of game we expected to see between Nashville and Colorado.
And you wonder, with the idea being that Pekka Rinne is out of the lineup, has Nashville sort of changed their philosophy a little bit, opening things up, or was it just a game where maybe the goaltenders weren't as sharp as we've seen them most of the season?
Well, why don't you tell us about tonight's scores, Molson, 3 stars in the game.
Well, I think Victor Stahlberg, who got his first goal of the season, playing with Wilson. I mean, he was big, active. He clanged a post early in the period. Yeah, he really had a good game. Matt Duchene, either way, it was going to be, if the Avalanche had won, it would have been Duchene 1, Wilson 2. But with a game-winning goal, Wilson gets the first star. Matt Duchene, brilliant for the Avalanche, number 2.
Sure was. Well, Nashville wins it. Final score tonight with the empty netter. They win 6-4 over Colorado. Please join us again Friday night. The Avalanche get a day off and then right back at it here at Pepsi Center when they host the Calgary Flames. Let's continue our coverage of the Avs in the studio for the AutoNation Locker Room Report.